Hello, this is the 36th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will mainly focus on the contextual vectors, and we will look at the list that we created in this area a little bit deeper. First of all, these are called incremental order heading list, which means that there is an incremental order inside the headings, and since we are using numeric values, the first one is more important than the last one, and the total number of the heading list is signaled directly inside the heading. This is created actually for feature snippets. When we come to this area, you will see that actually how we try to optimize the feature snippet gaining, because most of the things that we do, it is for mainly candidate passage answer creation, and mainly we focus on actually the passage ranking and the scoring, because whenever you are able to create a quality passage, it will be increasing the total quality or the overall quality of the website. When we look at the order of these things, usually in these headings, which is explained in the previous lecture series, usually when we use a colon, it means that the next section is completing and also it is signified by the first section. In this area, when you see the physical, it will be interpreted in the context of the first section, and the order of these context terms are arranged according to the queries that we see in this area and the main context and the benefits or the effects of the water. So that's why physical comes first, and that's why we put physical performance to the first place. Now we have energy, which is a bridge between brain function and the physical performance. You should always augment the phrases and the context, which means that physical performance will mostly signal the word body. The brain function will mostly actually signal something like mental health or mental efficiency or psychological health. In this case, you can tell that semantically the body involves the brain. Isn't it actually a wrong lexical relation? As I say, any word that we use, it takes its meanings from the queries rather than the dictionary. That's why we should augment the context according to the queries that we see. And when you look at the order here, if you go deeper, constipation and kidney stone, they stay together. And when you look at the bacteria and the immune system, they stay together. And when you look at the dehydration and also the hangovers, these two also stay together because they are both caused by the alcohol. And in this case, we choose a certain type of context, and then we actually order these things, and we try to consolidate that specific contextual domain further by keeping these closely related things to each other. Weight loss at the same time is a bridge between all these things, because it is one of the actual results of nearly all these things. If you dehydrate, weight loss will happen, and most probably when you are hangover, you won't be able to eat properly, and you can again connect it in this area, or it might be a kind of opposite effect for this one more time. And when you look at the last ones, muscle growth and the joints, you can directly actually unite these to each other, and again these are physical terms. So basically, since this is the most important section, mostly we connect and unite everything in this area in the context of physical effects or physical health effects, and in the middle sections or the minor sections, we try to focus on psychological and nutritional effects or the factors. So we have an overall context, then at the middle grounds or the minor sections, we have bridges for these two as well. So entire context vector here, it is ordered for actually having a higher relevance and also more comprehensive look. The same thing also happened in this specific topical map too. If we take all the terms that we use inside our process topical map, you will realize that the most used words are water, drinking, and benefit, because this is our main context. And even if we see some other words, maybe like health, maybe causal symptoms, pros and cons, all of them again will be connected to the one of these things, water, or drinking water, or drinking a certain type of water in the morning or while something else happening. When you see these words like the risks or the harms or effects, there are again actually variations of the benefit when you augment this specific phrase. And the same thing happens in this area too. Whenever we see a benefit for a certain type of drinking water, we will always be having these specific criterias or criterion, which means that whatever we write here, in the future content briefs, we will process these things for different types of voters as well. In a semantic content network, we always try to stay consistent. We don't tell contradicting things, and we don't forget what we have written before. We construct everything with an order, with a consistency, and it is actually a continuous and aligned thought stream for constructing a knowledge base in the form of text. And lastly, when you look at the vector flow or context flow from physical performance to the joints and the muscle growth, and if you just directly go to a generative AI system and tell them that I am giving you 3 benefits: physical performance, muscle growth, and joints. And you can ask that, what is the reason for these specific benefits? Water will be one of them, and there will be many other specific nouns or the unnamed entities that can appear there. In this case, you will need to connect all these benefits to the other similar things too in the supplementary content under these specific sections. But we will talk about it directly inside the methodology section, and just you should remember that even if we have water mainly in our H1, you will need to take the alternatives of water or similar things to water or similar other alternate predicates to the drinking for all these benefits, so that you can stay in the context and you can go deeper for all these sections as much as possible. So in the next lecture, we will look at the macro and micro context terms one more time together. Thank you.